Hi, welcome to the channel. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the AI that I'm trying to build for my whole Iron Man project, my personal Jarvis. So let's just go ahead and dive right in and take a look at what I got so far. Okay, so what you see on the screen is my AI in progress. I'm going to ask it to do something and then I'm going to explain some things. Okay, so what you see on the left hand side is an event log, just events that are happening. You can see it's activated the UI module, and you can see it activates over on the right side, which is the status. What you don't see is in the other room, my old gaming computer from like 10 years ago is screaming. It only has a 3090 in there. But I'm using the Gemma 3 27 billion model, and it seems to be doing decent at what I'm wanting it to do. And boom, we have a gyoza recipe. Gyoza is awesome. If you've never had gyoza, you should definitely try it. Um, and now, after it's completed its task, it just says, I'm going to hibernate. System is hibernating. You can tell by the Z's. That's cool. I'm going to ask it to try to do something else. And then I'll take a moment and kind of explain some of the background processes. All right, let's see what happens. So it wakes up, the system is no longer hibernating. It opened up the camera module. Gonna stare at the camera just for a second. Okay, it took a picture. And let's see what it has to say about me. Could be worse. Okay, so that is what the interface looks like. And it was done in web, so like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I didn't use React or Vue, and you might be thinking, why not? And to that, I have to say, I don't know. But what I do know is that the web technology is easy enough to port over to any platform. And again, I want to have this be part of my Iron Man suit running on the Jetson. So it's going to hopefully be easier for me to port it over. I don't plan on having it run in a browser. I plan on just showing the web elements. Um, but that's why I did it this way. Also, this is the loop. It is really simple. There's this thing called a React agent, and that's sort of the methodology that I was thinking behind this. So your loop goes off, runs some systems. So systems could be triggering some events that occur. Maybe it's a timer, alarm clock, that kind of thing. And then there's a way for it to wake up. And if it wakes up or it's already awake, then it's going to create metadata, which is probably like the most important piece here, and I'll describe it in a minute. But you take the history of events plus the metadata and you jam it into the LLM, and the LLM is going to spit out a thought and a tool call. That's the way it's set up. It has to do it that way. And then execute the tool. It's either going to work or not, and then fail. If it works, there's a log for it. If it fails, there's a log for it. Log everything. Let the LLM kind of figure out what to do. So this is what an event looks like. You got a unique ID, you have the module that is associated to the event, and then the event itself. You also have a payload. And for the assistant tick is every time that the LLM gets called. I actually put in the system prompt that it should look for this event so that it knows the last time that it ran. And you can see in here that it has a thought. So every time that the LLM runs, I give it a chance to think. We know that reasoning models, do slightly better, if not greatly better, than just throwing out the answers. So it has a chance to think, and then it'll perform a tool call. The only way that it can communicate to me, or through that communication window that you saw, is it actually has to call a tool. So this is an event. So you have a bunch of events stacked up on each other. And then what I do is I take the last event, and right before that, I inject a metadata, like element. The metadata is so important. Instead of having the system prompt at the top, what I did is I just stuff it all in this metadata. So the very last message, put the metadata in there, and it already knows the last place it went off. So it can look at everything beforehand, look at the metadata, and know what to do, hopefully. So inside this metadata, I put the system prompt, telling it what to do. I left it out because I'm still working on that one. It lists out the systems. Right now, when I took the snippet, there was no systems registered, so it says, hey, no systems registered. It's going to list out the modules, and you can see it's even nice enough to display if they're active or inactive. So it can be like, oh, I need to go activate these modules. I think I'm going to add some details about what each module does so that the AI knows, hey, if I need to go perform this action, then I know I need to go activate this module. There are some built-in tools which are in core. Core is always active. Then it lists out the tools based on the modules. So if the module is not active, it's not going to show, but if the module is active, it shows. So core, you can activate modules, open widgets, that kind of stuff. And hibernate or message the user. Widgets are the thing on the user interface. So what you saw was a web interface. I'm planning on being able to open up widgets on different devices and have the AI know which device to send it to. So yeah, that's like one of the crucial pieces that makes it smarter and know what to do. Other than that, it is a really, really simple process. It handles most of it for you. The other cool thing that I have though is this module manager. So there's the core, which is that loop, and then there's this module manager. The module manager on startup looks at the module folder, runs through everything recursively, looks for systems, looks for tools, and looks for widgets. Widgets are actually comprised of, it's a class, a Python class, but it gives it HTML, JS, and CSS so that it can look however it wants. And then inside of the widget, you can register actions. And so that's how the AI was able to take a picture or update the markdown for the gyoza recipe. But yeah, so the module manager is super dynamic. Everything about it is basically just figuring out as it goes. Python's really great for that because you can inspect and you can look. Even in the metadata where it gives you descriptions, if I can make this work, it gives you descriptions of things. Let me find a good example if I have one. Oh, right here. So that is just a doc string in Python. I didn't have to like go do something special. I just write a function like normal and let the module manager handle that. And that's the way I like to do things in Python. I don't like to do heavy lifting except for once. So yeah, that is the general overview of how this works. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. And at some point I might start sharing some code, but right now this is still like the early stages. But yeah, I think that's it for now. Until next time.